Hey dudes, it's TheeRealDuke here with episode 12 of my Let's Build series. I'm inside the castle walls of my kingdom on the InfiniteHeights Minecraft server, and today we are going to finish up the Iron Golem Priory. It's going to be fun. It's coming up right now. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, dudes? It is TheeRealDuke coming to you from my kingdom on Infinite Heights. We are spinning around here doing a quick aerial view of where the priory is oriented. You can see Castle Valor fading into the background as the sun rises on another beautiful Minecraft day on the kingdom. We are finishing this thing off. Let's get at it. Obviously, it is raining as I'm trying to build. The last episode I talked about adding some log type coloration, log type stuff to the towers on the sides because honestly they were too brightly colored and I didn't think they fit or matched quite well enough of the style that we had set for the rest of the priory, so I am filling that out. I kind of really like the way you have the cross beams kind of poking out, because the lighter color of the heartwood versus the bark, I think, kind of adds little punctuation points around that add a little bit of interest. So I kind of dig that, and then I just throw some supports under there, little details. We gotta fix the floor because that obviously can't you can't ignore their beams. They run through. You got to make them run through, and so I was. We gotta also I had to polish up how kind of fit together, mate together the way the tops, the decks, the upper decks, the floor, whatever you want to call it, of the towers fit and kind of plugged into the sides of the priory. So we took care of that real quick. And so now we're working on the deck that is out back. Just kind of adding a little bit of interest to the base of the support beams that actually hold up the deck. And as I was doing this, I was like, you know what, like, I think it would be cool if we had the deck up there, but what if the deck was a couple floors? And it's something that I was toying around with before, but initially I had just kind of envisioned the bottom floor as just being grass the way it is now, or maybe doing some kind of garden thing under there. And it didn't really occur to me that, like, oh, I could throw a deck down there. So that is, brace for deck incoming. So I started digging out the dirt. And I love MCMMO. It's one of my favorite things on the server. I think, I really enjoy how with MCMMO, the more you do something, the better your skill at that thing becomes, and so you have to do less of that thing for the same amount of stuff. So in other words, if you're not familiar with MCMMO, I was digging just then, and that skill in MCMMO is called excavation. And so the more you dig, the easier and faster it becomes to dig, and the more stuff you're able to fish out of the dirt as you're digging. The net result when you're at the excavation level that I'm at, which is not even really that high, it's like 1500 something maybe, but it's pretty high, is that my inventory is just full of crap. So when you dig up stuff, sometimes, like, I'll dig up 4 blocks of dirt and end up getting 7 blocks of dirt, 3 glowstone, 2 brown mushrooms, some cocoa beans. It's like a ton of crap. And all I wanted was to just get rid of the dirt. So it does bug me sometimes. So I kind of threw it in. Back to what we're doing here. I kind of threw it in. Threw in the decking for this, and I was like, maybe it should be raised a little bit. So I just picked it up 1 level and added some stairs kind of as an outline. Here I'm doing the 2nd floor. I threw a little fencing in there. I like the way the fencing looks. And time for the deck roof, you know, and I'm trying to keep a gentle, rounded kind of slope to it. And I'm thinking about just fractions of circles. So, you know, I'll move over 3, and then down 1, and then over 2, and then down 1, and then over 1, and then down 1, and kind of create the appearance of like a gradual curve. Gentle slope. So, I finished the other deck on the other side, and the roof and the second story deck on the other side, and now we are here back around front where I'm thickening up, because if we're looking at it, it has a skyscraper vibe to it, and that's not necessarily bad, it's just that we're not trying to make a skyscraper, and by skyscraper vibe, what I mean is each floor looks the same. A skyscraper above, you know, the top first couple of floors and below the tip of the top of the skyscraper, all the middle floors typically look exactly the same. So all the windows are the same and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out ways to separate the levels from each other to add interest and kind of make them look a little bit more unique. So I doubled up on the bottom support beams along the foundation, and I am throwing in some windowsills. I actually come back and change out these windowsills later for the first floor. So I'm kind of throwing that in, and I just want to get like a rough idea here of exactly what the overall shape is. So if I add the same, I guess if I add the same design elements to each floor, then I can see exactly how they look the same, and so then I'll know the exact spots for me to be able to switch them up. So I just kind of did it, finished it, and then I'm going to come back with fresh eyes a little bit later and switch it up and adjust it. So now we're just getting the roof over the second floor extension that connects to the top of the tower, and again I'm going for this kind of sloped, gradual sloping, gentle sloping roof. And it took a couple tries, took a little bit of revision. We figured it out. I've been the worst. My block placement percentage in terms of accuracy on this build is by far the worst of any other build I've ever tried. You can see here the gradual slope I'm talking about. I just kind of hung that out there to see how far it should come out for the deck on the third story, fourth floor. It's tall. It's tall. So I threw the floor in for the decking, and then I just kind of wanted to make sure that, again, that little arc there was the right slope, and I thought it looked good, so just kind of carried on. Brr, brr. Zipping them out there, no big deal. I kind of wanted to run. I don't even really know what to call these. They're kind of supports, like the if you like think about an umbrella. There's the tines, the metal pieces of the umbrella that stretch the cloth. That's kind of what I was thinking about when I was throwing these in. I wanted something that broke up because it would have just been one continuous flat surface of spruce slabs, and so I wanted something to break it up a little bit, and then I was like, I could just make them raised like I've been doing to kind of add a little bit of interest. So that's what we did, and I think it turned out okay. So we light up the tippity top of the cupola, and it is time to, and here I am just laying out this arc again just to make sure we get the right gradual shape of it, and it took a couple tries for me to figure out what I thought worked best. So we light up the top of the cupola, and I keep saying cupola. Cupola is just the structure that is the peak at the top of the roof. It's usually a square or round shaped thing that's in the center of the top of the roof. Usually it's open. Usually there's something in it like a bell or windows around it or something like that. So And I thought about rounding this off around the edges too, instead of having it square, but you know, the round would have contrasted too much with the rest of it being squared off at the edges. So I don't remember exactly why I took that down. I think because where the support posts would go didn't line up properly, so I had to just stop, do it again, make it work. Yes. This was actually the easiest one to do because I didn't have any weird angles to figure out anywhere. It's just a square. So you can see when I finished the top of the cupola, I was like, okay, so now what? The rooftop is going to be smoothed off and flat like that? No, so we're going to raise the roof. You know what I'm saying? You see what I did there? So we're just going to throw a little bit of just a little square roof to kind of punctuate the top. Little square detail, throw it up there. Try and keep as best we can the little, the gradual kind of sloping thing. Throw the little detail up at the tip. And obviously, to make it cool, we need to add fire. So we threw some fire in, but here we are back kind of figuring out where the original cupola was. Oh, I keep wanting to say Koopa, which is not at all what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say Koopa. Nintendo may try and take my money and make me take this video down if I say Koopa too many times, so I'm going to stop. Anyway, so here we are. We're just kind of laying out the deck. Putting up fences, finishing it off, throwing in the support beams that hold up the roof. Making sure those look good. Making it fit flush. Thinking about breaking this out. There's no way to get up here from the inside, but when I do eventually decide to hang something in there, I wanted it to maybe be visible if possible, so we left a doorway hole there. I don't really know what I was thinking about that, but from the outside, the design effect of it is 100% on money. It is on the money. It is on target. I don't know how that euphemism goes. Anyway, so I'm just kind of zipping around, making sure the window sills are done. And that was most of the outside finish, most of it. So I retreated to the bowels of the cupola, cleared out some dirt, cleared out a little bit of stone, got some more stone to clear out. Here it goes. Goodbye. I continued these support posts through. Down to the floor. And the kind of tube that led down to where the iron was actually harvested was stone, so I decided that it needed to be stone brick as I raised it all the way up here to the first floor, and you can see me just kind of laying down the surface of the first floor. Lots and lots of half slabs. Good guy, Adrian. Coming in to say hey. Buzzing around, I was talking to him in TeamSpeak, and he was like, am I in the shot? Am I in the shot? Yes. How about now? No. How about now? Yes. How about now? No. Now? Yes. No. Now? No. Yes? No. How about now? No. It was funny. He's like, I think I'm vanished. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could see you. Pretty sure a cameraman can see. He's like, no, I'm vanished. Are you sure? Yeah. You sure I can't see you? Yeah, you can't see me. Okay. It's pretty funny. Starting work on the second floor. Trying to keep it open so we can see up. Who knows what kind of profane things Adrian was doing down there in the basement. Who was that? I don't even know who that was. They came in, they disappeared. Trying to keep that middle plus shape here open, so we can see all the way up straight up to the cupola, and it is, I promise, it is a cool effect. And I realized I forgot some cross beams in there, which didn't make sense. And then as I looked up, I took a quick glance up. I don't know if you saw, but I took a quick glance up. And I was like, this is just too much. This is too much beam. I used better grammar when I thought that to myself, but essentially the sentiment was the same. This is too much beam. I don't even know why I took a weird accent when I did that, but I did. The point is, I thought it was too much, just too much log. So I threw those double slabs in there every so often to add a little bit of interest and break up that kind of just sameness of that one dark spruce log thing. So just filling in. And so back outside, what I'm trying to do here, again, we talked about it before, I'm trying to differentiate the floors from each other. And so I decided that the topmost floor that we could see on the outside that didn't have like a deck around it or anything would have dark slabs, would have the oak slabs, spruce slabs. I've only used a million spruce blocks and spruce type blocks here. Would have spruce slabs around it, as you saw. So I finished that up, and here we are back inside, throwing in some stairs, going up to the first floor, and up to the third floor rather, now up to the fourth floor. Just kind of spiraling down, throwing in some stone brick supports, some fences to keep us from falling. And I did, parallel sets of those, matching. Didn't take too long, just kind of poked through the floor. So now we're on the outside and trying to figure out how to approach the front and how to get inside. Honestly, I didn't want to break a hole through the foundation and have you walk upstairs, and I couldn't based on how I did the floor inside already. So I was like, we're gonna need a porch, and I like the idea of the porch kind of splitting and having two stairways, one from each side, that you could use to approach the priory. So we did some smooth stone half slabs there, kind of building up the sides of the stairs, similar in technique to how we did the pathways around the kingdom. Jeez, that little piece of glowstone floating there. Thank you, MCMMO, for junking up my entire inventory. So, threw some stone brick, some cobble, some cracked stone brick foundation in there. We had those big empty spaces, and it was time to fill those in. Add a little interest, so they weren't just big flat spaces there between the uprights. And I was like, okay, time to throw a little covering on the porch. No big deal. And I totally am digging how it's asymmetrical. The slope of the hill to the right of the porch is different than the slope of the hill to the left, and so the stairway is longer. And I love that asymmetry, because it just, it's a sign that we're just kind of moving with the land. Yeah, just throwing another little gazebo type structure over here. I thought it was a little boring when the steps just kind of came down and terminated at nothing and then made a left onto the main path. So I was like, why would you not just jump off the steps onto the path? And so I was like, oh, let me throw another little roof structure over here, add a little bit of interest and more kind of visual mass to the front of the structure. So bloop, bloop, bloop. Throw one in real quick, give the nice little detail at the top. Then I was like, oh, what if we just kind of carried this front porch over and you could actually walk through the main pathway underneath, just underneath the porch itself. And then the porch, when you were actually on the porch, would kind of give you a cool lookout kind of thing on the path. So I came back and, gotta do what you gotta do. Let me tell you, when we were walking around in a second and you see this, you are going to dig it. You are going to dig it. yeah, love it. So I'm just adding supports, adding some double slabs. Just trying to finish it off. I'm going to throw some fences in. There we go. Add some lighting underneath the roof line. And, you know, everybody that's done, wave to the camera. So here it is. That was some work. It's hard to get a shot of the whole thing to really kind of have it sink into what it actually is, but boy, this was fun, and this was kind of a test. This was a pretty solid test, working on different styles, and blending dissimilar things together into one continuous whole. But it was awesome. Let's take a closer look, see how we did. Yes, indeed. Whew. So this was quite the effort. We did a lot of inventing as we went along. We did quite a lot of resource gathering for all of these freaking stacks of wood, of logs. It's bananas. It's still not 100%. There are, you can see up on I'm on the top in the cupola up here. There's no way to get up here, though there are doorways here. I decided to leave them open so you can see whatever I choose to hang from here, which I also still have not decided upon, but there needs to be glass here. There does need to be glass, but anyway, so if we walk in from the front door and we look up, this is kind of what we see. It's open in the middle here, so you can see all the way to the top from a lot of different angles. So really do love how that turned out. That was cool. I like how these little points of this brighter color stone slab, double slab block here with torches on it kind of punctuate going up. I think it would be a little too boring if it were just you know, solid beams of spruce, but so we're on the first floor here, and I'm just zipping around here because it helps me show it off to you more quickly, quickly. It helps me show it off fast. So let's head up the stairs here to the second floor, and you saw me build these in parallel. There's one over there and one right here. Then on the second floor, as we know, you can head out to the top of the side towers that house the actual machinations that make this thing what it is. Castle Valor up there. It's nighttime. What time is it? A little bit before midnight. Bummer. Anyway, so you can see Castle Valor for up there. Let's head back inside. We'll head up to the third floor. Tell you, man, this is a lot of work. I'm missing stuff here. I am super proud of it. I am very proud of how it turned out. I think it's pretty awesome. I am, however, glad that we are finished. So here we are on the third floor, and as we are walking around, you can see the assorted views. There's soon to be Monster Island. Let's head up one more flight, and this is as high as we can go. There's a sweet deck out here, which I love. Another sweet view of Monster Island, and as we go back inside, we can snake around to the other side and get a nice view of Castle Valor. And you can hear, I know you can hear the fire. Can you hear it? Need another thing there. You know, we also need, wow, I missed a lot of windows. I know you can hear the fire up top here in the cupola. We put a fire up there. There needs to be something hanging from here. But anyway, I am missing a lot of glass. I'm sorry, I miss stuff sometimes. I am human. I am not using creative. I am not using world edit to slap this together, so I do miss stuff sometimes like this for whatever reason, and all the glass up here. But let's take a dive down here. Here's how we'll get out. And I didn't finish this mechanism. This is just going to be a hopper chain that just kind of pushes it all up into a chest that's going to be up here, just so we don't have to drop all the way down here to gather materials. Let's hop outside and check out what it looks like from the outside. So this is the actual porch, and then this is like a little overhang thing which you saw me building, I think, last. It's got a cool view of the surrounding area, which I think is pretty sweet. It's got a flower shop going in there soon. So anyway, so let's take a look. This is just kind of a little pergola, we'll call it. Pergola. Just a little, I don't know, gazebo type thing. I thought it looked cool. I thought it was a nice way to punctuate the end of the stairway. Need to throw some gravel in there, but we covered the outside, the rest of the outside, with a little outline of gravel. You can hear him in there. So we zip over the pumpkin house. I don't really know. You know, this thing is. I'm not trying to make it sound better than it is, but it is pretty big and it is hard to kind of take in all at once. I'm not sure what the best angle to view it from is, because there is a lot to it, but I am partial to this kind of view right here, front and center. I really dig this kind of asymmetry here that happened because just of the shape of the land. I love building with the land. This asymmetry that happened where it's a little bit longer on this side till it gets down there, but that's cool. There's also going to be a building here. You know, the flower shop is going in here, and the cactus farm is going to go here, and I may make that a three-story tall building. We'll see. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think, huh? It's done. Finally. It has been some time. This is my first multi-part episode, I think, that went 3 parts to finish a Let's Build. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of work. So many logs. So long waiting for spawning to happen for this. Probably 18 hours of work building this thing. Yikes. I think I could have built it in about an hour if I would have used World Edit. Or Creative, at least, would have cut it down. But anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I don't know. I had a lot of fun building it, like I said before. I am also, because it was so much work, I am glad that it's finished. But I did have a lot of fun. And you know, look, see, the more I fly around, the more I see these broken things. And this should be a doorway here, so that we could get out onto this veranda too. Jeez. I got no excuses though. My brain is fried from too much building. Is that possible? It's not possible. It wasn't too much building at all. It was exactly enough building to make what I think is one of my favorite builds so far in my kingdom here on Infinite Heights. What do you guys think? Definitely let me know. Is there something else, some other type some other type of thing you guys would like to see me build here in my kingdom on Infinite Heights? If so, let me know in the comments below. But that is it for this episode. I want to say thank you so much to you dudes for taking the time to check this video out. I hope you dudes enjoyed watching. I hope you learned a little something about building and about how I like to do things. But again, that is it for this episode. Thank you dudes so much for watching. Check out my YouTube channel for other Let's Builds, Infinite Heights server contest videos, which we just started again. Oh man, there's lots of stuff to check out on there. Give it a look-see. Again, thank you dudes so much. I do truly appreciate every single view, every single like, every comment, and every sub. Again, thanks dudes. It's TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.